We have through here, we have Treasury Secretary Bessent calls for a review of the entire Federal Reserve. Now they're kicking the can on that again. You guys kind of know how I feel on that. I think the Federal Reserve should be its own entity. They shouldn't be controlled by the president. So I think what the president's doing at this time is absolutely wrong. So I'm not a huge Trumper, folks. When it comes to a lot of things, when the administration on any side calls, does something I don't really appreciate, I'll call it out for you. Let's see over here. U.S. plays hardball on tariffs. Deadline is U.S. battles for deals. So this is basically going to be what the headlines are focused in on and how the markets unfortunately go for the day. So let's get over to see how the markets are faring today. So far, we have a Cinderella story. Now, here's what I call a Cinderella story, folks, is when all the indices across the board are up. So we have the Dow Jones up, the S&P up. I think it might be teetering, still at record highs. NASDAQ up. You have oil down, and why we focus in on this is a huge piece of inflation. So if you see oil go down $65 a barrel, maybe down to $60 a barrel, inflation will be coming down and be coming down quite a bit because oil is the lifeblood of our economy. It still is, folks. And then you have the U.S. Treasury or interest rates actually dropping as well. Let's go over to the cryptocurrencies, and it continues that. So we're at 118,000 on Bitcoin. So look at it. The markets right across the board are up. We have the oil down, we have the interest rates down, and we have cryptocurrency up. I'm thinking this is a great day, folks. So if you've ever followed me on a weekly basis, I do what's called Stock Talk Tuesday. We'll be talking about stocks, so you can also understand how the stock market works, not only just the stock market, but interest rates and mortgages as well. Now let's get over to the Federal Reserve, what they monitor. So this is what they monitor on a basis. This is why the Federal Reserve was created, folks. They were created to control inflation, the jobs market, to keep the employment market as high as it can, and also they focus in on GDP to see how the economy is faring. Right now, if you look at inflation, it keeps ticking down. We're waiting just for the inflation front to pop in. When are the tariffs actually going to hit this? I don't know, and everybody's been waiting for this. So unless we have a big spike in inflation, I don't really think the economy is going to go in a spiral downwards anytime soon. We had the unemployment rate recently just come in actually better than expected. So this is the news that the Federal Reserve is rolling into. So if I'm them, I'm sitting there saying, well, am I going to cut rates at this meeting? Well, let's check the probability of that. So for that, we go over to the CME FedWatch group and we go down through here. This is the probability that the Federal Reserve will be cutting rates or not. So if you go over through here, here's the meetings that are coming out. We have a July 30th meeting coming out. The federal funds rate right across through here. Here's the target rates. We're at 4.25 and 4.5. If you don't believe me, I'll go right over to here and explain that to you. This is where the Federal Reserve, this is what the Federal Reserve actually controls. This is that number where the government or our president keeps saying,